This is a follow up. We have done this twice. We've given this its own episode for the last 2 years. I think it's
Yep.
better to just put it in here. We'll be a more concise discussion, but we got to be on it for this one then.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
Dominic, we are taking a look. This was requested by a uh, listener viewer of the show, so shout out to
Oh,
them.
nice. Nice.
So they said to take a look at who each of you predicted last year to be champion at this time. How many did you get right? Who would you pick to be champ at this time next year? So, Dominic, I have our results for the last 2 years. It has been mostly ugly,
Of
but
course.
some occasional beauty behind the madness here. So, 2020 to 2021, I only got 2 of 12 right, and both of those were Amanda Nunes. So, shout out to her. Dominic got 5 of 12 right. Look at him go.
Yep.
This year, Dominic remained stagnant. 5
Yep.
of 12 for 2021 to 2022, while your boy most improved, the MIP,
Mm-hmm.
7 out of 12. I mean,
That's over
there you go.
50%, Noah. Bravo. Bravo.
So I'm going to go through who we had to be champion right now, who we thought would be champion right now, and then we'll talk about who's going to be champion a year from now. So we'll do this real quick.
Okay.
Women's fly.
Strawweight.
Almost messed that up. Women's strawweight division.
So wait, is a straw?
Hey, you got to do it every time, right?
I have to. Yeah.
I had Rose Namajunas to remain champion. Dominic had Mackenzie Dern, an interesting choice there.
Yeah.
Carlos Barza is your champion. Don't think either of us really saw that one coming.
Nope.
The next 3 women's divisions were pretty easy. We all got these 3. Valentina Shevchenko to be women's flyweight champion. Amanda Nunes didn't expect the path it took to get there,
Yeah.
but she did remain your 2 division women's champion at bantamweight and featherweight. So easy enough. Men's flyweight, Dom. We both picked the assassin baby. Brandon
We're
Moreno.
halfway right. Kind of.
He
is
is
an
an
interim
interim
champ.
champion. Do we get a half point for that? Maybe we do.
Maybe.
But Davison Figueiredo is your outstanding champion. Is your what? Why can't I
Undisputed.
think of the word? Yeah, thank you. Undisputed champion.
He is
Um,
outstanding, though. He is. Yeah.
Yep. The men's bantamweight division, we both thought Peter Yan was taking back that title from Aljamain Sterling. What a surprise that was. Aljamain Sterling has remained on top. That was one of the controversial picks that you got right for 2021.
Yeah.
And even though it was via DQ, it was I was so mad about it. Even though I picked Marlon Moraes, who I'm pretty sure didn't win a fight since I made that prediction. But anyways, now retired from the sport. We both decided Peter Yan, though, and Dom, you should have stuck with your boy Aljamain Sterling, champion.
I know.
Now, for featherweight, we both take the Blessed Express Max Holloway. Now, my thoughts on this would change by the time the fight took place, but Alexander Volkanovski, I mean, just completely outlasting our expectations. We've done this for 2. This is the 3rd year we're going to do this. Both years, neither one of us picked Volkanovski once.
Yeah.
I actually picked Max both times. Dom picked Max for this year, and then for last year it was Zabit Magomed Sharipov. So,
Damn.
he's now a retired doctor. So, shout
Yeah.
out to
Yeah.
Zabit.
Yeah.
Men's lightweight, I'm proud of this one. I rode with Charlie Olives through thick and thin.
Yeah.
It wasn't easy. We had some, bumps in the road. I think he's technically not the champion, but I'm giving myself a point, damn it.
Yeah, you have to. You have to.
I'm giving myself a point for that one. Who would have thought? Dominic picked Islam Makhachev, which could have been just a couple months off. We'll see come October. So that'll be a big one. We both had Kamaru Usman at welterweight. If we would have done this like a week sooner,
Yeah.
probably would have had it. But Leon Edwards, of course, shocks the world. Gets the head kick knockout. We both had Israel Adesanya, men's middleweight. What am I doing here? We both had Yuri Prohaska at light heavyweight. That was also one that was looking a little dicey there at the end. But a Hail Mary submission in round 5 gets it done.
Yeah.
And finally, at heavyweight, Dominic had Cyril Gane and I had Francis Ngannou. So that one fight that started our pay-per-view year sort of decided the direction there, and we haven't seen either guy since. Ciryl
They had
Gane,
to
of
fight
course,
one time,
headlining.
and that's all that mattered. Damn.
He's headlining the next card, and Francis Ngannou is still out for likely the rest of the year. So that was the rundown for what we had for who we thought would be champion today. But Dominic, the interesting question here is who's going to be champion a year from now? Let's do this. Well, I say we do it quick, and then we can talk about some of the picks at the end. So I'll
Fair.
tell you the division. You tell me the name. I'll tell you my name. We move on.
Let's do it.
Women's strawweight.
Zhang Weili.
Zhang Weili. Women's flyweight.
Valentina Shevchenko.
Valentina Shevchenko. Women's bantamweight.
Can we just pair these two together? Maybe not. Amanda Nunes.
Valentina Shevchenko. Women's featherweight.
Amanda Nunes.
Aspen Ladd. No, I'm just kidding. Amanda Nunes.
I thought you were going to say non-existent.
That's what I predicted last year.
He's tried
That
it,
did not
yeah.
happen.
Yeah.
Flyweight. Men's flyweight.
Brandon Moreno.
I'm throwing a curveball in here. Merab Dvalishvili.
Alrighty.
Men's bantamweight.
I put an asterisk next to this one because I didn't know for sure.
Say it.
Sean
Say
O'Malley.
Cheetah Vera. Featherweight.
Alexander Volkanovski.
Alexander Volkanovski. Lightweight. Just say it. Just say it. Hurt me.
Charles Oliveira, baby.
Yes, let's fucking go. Charles Oliveira.
Oh, the Islam fans
Welterweight.
are going to be pissed. Okay.
Yeah,
Welterweight.
That's true.
Hamzat Chimaev.
Okay. I'm going to admit, I had Hamzat written down, but I'm actually going to change it because I want to throw in my other curveball.
How many
Kamaru
curveballs?
Usman.
Okay.
Kamaru Usman. Middleweight.
Israel Adesanya. Oh my gosh.
Chimaev.
Well, after your DM today on Twitter, but anyway. Okay.
Light heavyweight.
Yuri Prohaska.
Magomed Ankalaev.
Fair.
Heavyweight.
I was wrong in 2021. I ain't going to be fucking wrong in 2022. Surreal. Gone.
Wow. Okay. I'm a bit surprised by that one, even though I like it.
Yeah.
I'm going with Francis Ngannou.
Okay. Wow.
All right. I was fun to do it that way because.
Woo.
All right. You got it. You got to tell me the thought process. The one that really threw me for a loop. Sean O'Malley, obviously. I mean, I see. I already see the direction here, but I just want to know kind of your thought process on that one.
Yeah, so my thought process, he's fighting Peter Yan in October underneath of TJ Dillashaw and Aljamain Sterling. It's there for a reason. It's on that card for a reason. If he wins that fight, the UFC's giving him a title shot. I'm sorry. Like it, hate it. Like him, hate him. That's what's going to happen. It's number 13 versus number 1. It's quite substantial that he could hopscotch 12 people, especially in that division. But if he beats Peter Yan, he's getting a title fight. That's just how it's going to be. And I just think that with his reach and his elite striking skill set, I don't think it's that. It's hard. It's a huge jump. When you look at the competition, it almost seems blasphemous. But I just think that he can win a fight against Peter Yan. So I'm going out on a limb. I guess he does beat Peter Yan. Fights the winner of Aljamain Sterling and TJ Dillashaw. Both of those matchups, way worse, in my opinion, than Peter Yan is for Sean O'Malley. But
whoa, okay, that's a let's embrace debate right there. I like that.
Yes. And I apparently I think that he gets the win over either one of those two guys. And then from there, by the time August rolls around, because we do these every August, clearly, he's going to have that belt. He's going to fight twice. And he's going to have the belt. I can't believe I did it. He wasn't even on my sheet. I changed it because that was the guy that was nagging at my head all day. I took a chance. Sean O'Malley.
I love it. You got to take chances, man. That's what makes this fun. Who wants to see a chalk year? You don't want to just see all the champions retain.
Right. Right. I got to ask you
Although,
too
like,
then.
yeah.
Go ahead. Okay.
No, I want to hear.
So Valentina at bantamweight, I get it, but I just want to hear you break it down. And then, shit, what was the other one I wanted? Oh, Hamzat at
Merab.
middleweight because fuck yeah, actually all three because Hamzat you kind of explained a little to Twitter, but you need to tell the audience, and then Merab, yeah, those are the three that you got me. Yeah.
Okay, so Valentina as double champ going to bantamweight. I do think the UFC are going to look to make her and Amanda Nunes trilogy fight happen. Me and Dominic not huge on it, but admittedly, when you look at what else is out there for Amanda, it's not a lot. And Amanda looked great against Juliana Pena in the rematch. She looked back, but we've talked about this on the show. In team sports and football, right? How hard is it to beat the same team 3 times in a year? I think it's going to be incredibly hard for Nunes at this point in her career to beat Shevchenko a third time. I think Shevchenko's speed advantage is going to make the difference. I don't see Amanda being able to land the shots she's going to need to really hurt Valentina, have a big impact on Valentina. Again, what I really don't like about the fight is I feel like people are going to hype it up as it being the fight that determines the women's GOAT of MMA, and I don't agree. I still think, Amanda's got 2 wins over Valentina. Her resume is more impressive. She's beat every former champion in the weight class. Valentina, incredible. I think she's already the second best in women's MMA history. Probably has more left in the tank than Amanda in terms of how much longer she can go in her career. So who's to say that by the end she's not? But I don't think that win itself says that. But I do think that she would win now if I had to guess in a trilogy bout with Amanda Nunes. Okay. Then Merab Weili at flyweight.
Yeah.
So I was looking at flyweight, man. I was having a hard time with flyweight. I really was, because Davison's your champion now. Him and the assassin Bebe, Brandon Moreno, will be fighting for a 4th time, likely January. So, win or lose, I think Davison's not long for this division. I really think that he has got aspirations to go to bantamweight. So, to me, I wanted to think of something, because I'm like, man, I really like Brandon Moreno, but I'm not so confident he's going to beat Davison, and then I'm not so confident Davison's going to stick around in that division. So I just started looking at the other options. Pantoja was definitely jumping out at me, especially the way he looked against Alex Perez. I'm always going to have a spot in my heart for Brandon Royval. Even Amir Albazi, I think, is an interesting choice, but I don't think he'll get the fights to get himself there. But I think he is an interesting name to be a future champion. And then I was reading an article about Merab, who he is adamant about not fighting Sterling. He has said he's interested in moving down and fighting at flyweight. And if he's able to make it, which I don't know how hard that cut will be, but I don't imagine it'll be easy. What a tank that dude could be at flyweight.
That's fascinating.
And I'm not even basing that pick off of how I think Sterling does against Dillashaw or against Jan again or O'Malley or whoever, Cheeto Vera, like I mentioned. Like, for all, Sterling may not be the champ. I think that Merab is going to have to make up his mind, and he didn't necessarily put himself in a great spot with Dana White and the UFC brass with his performance against Aldo. It was a good win, the best win of his career. But the performance didn't exactly say, hey, I want a title fight. And then afterwards, Dana has said his biggest pet peeve is when people say they're not going to fight the champion because they're their friend. And that's exactly what he said. So there's a clearer path if he goes to a division like flyweight that has a lot of guys fighting for that spot. the hardest part for Marav's going to be to get a title fight in a year because Pantoja feels like he's got to get the next one, and it's a long shot. But I just wanted to be different, and Marav was a name that I don't think is being discussed enough. Who could be looking at that division title next year?
I like it.
Oh, and then Hamza at middleweight.
Yeah.
So I did originally have Hamza. I had changed my mind on this a couple times. When I came here, I had it on my list: Hamza at welterweight and Izzy at middleweight. But again, I'm trying to throw some fun ones out here. So right now, I do sort of favor Kamaru to win the trilogy bout with Edwards. That might be blasphemous. I might change my mind later. But right now, I feel like Kamaru might be reinvigorated, refocused, or just again. I mean, he was winning the fight until he got caught. And does he get caught in the trilogy fight? I don't know. My chances say that was a 1 in a million. So therefore, I don't know if it happens a second time. But since that fight is happening a third time, you have an interesting dilemma with Khamzat Chimaev. If he beats Nate Diaz like he's expected to, the whole plan was for him to be next in line for a title shot, clearly.
Yeah.
That's why the pay-per-views were back-to-back. I mean, clearly he is next.
Yeah.
But now he's not, in a way, because Usman has to get the immediate shot. And then who knows what happens. If Usman wins the title, does he ride off into the sunset like we both said he would? Or is he going to take a pretty long layoff before another title fight with a guy like Khamzat? So I think the UFC are going to be really trying to find out what do we do with Khamzat in the meantime. Option number one's got to be Colby Covington. Dana said that's the fight he wanted to make when Colby beat Jorge. He wanted to line on ABC. And then Colby got punched in the face by an unknown bystander. So that's the fight that you think of. But I also think there's a chance that Khamzat is going to eventually fight for probably multiple division weight titles.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean he's going to win both or win either, but I think it's inevitable with how good he looked at both weight classes. He's probably going to eventually make that. Izzy has a real hard time. If he gets past Alex Pereira in November, there's like nobody in the immediate future.
I know. Yeah.
I mean, Sean Strickland's still around, but he has to get past
Cannonier.
Who is he scheduled to fight? Jared Cannonier. Even if it's that, like, do you really do Strickland and Izzy? I don't know. And then, if not that, is Izzy going to move up? I guess that's possible, but I think you put Khamzat in there. Khamzat versus Israel Adesanya.
That's massive. Yeah.
That's a massive fight. So all of a sudden, maybe you give Colby Covington, Jeff Neal, have a pretty big fight night headliner with those two. And then you have a huge title fight at middleweight that really kind of puts some life into that division. So you sort of kill two birds with one stone. And honestly, I mean, Izzy maybe he would win that fight with Khamzat, but I'm a believer in Khamzat, man. I think that dude is, if he fights the way that he's capable of, where he's disciplined, I don't know if there's a guy in the world who can beat him.
Yeah, he's the future, I believe. Yeah.